Today's documentary, The Stone Spheres of Costa Rica, Ancient Mysteries in Granite. Deep in the steamy heart of the Costa Rican jungle, in the year 1930, workers for the United Fruit Company were clearing dense forest to make way for banana plantations. Their machetes sliced through thick vines, their axes bit into ancient trees. Then, a blade struck stone with a deafening clang. As the undergrowth was hacked away, the workers stepped back in awe. There, half buried in the dark soil, was a massive, perfectly round sphere of granite, gleaming in the dappled tropical light. It was impossibly smooth, impossibly large, and it was not alone. They would soon discover another, and another, until nearly 300 of these enigmatic orbs emerged from the earth, challenging everything we thought we knew about the ancient Americas. The story begins not with their discovery, but with their creation, in a window of time stretching from roughly 300 CE to 1500 CE. This is the domain of the pre-Columbian Cherokee people, later cultures of the Diquís region, sophisticated societies that thrived along the rivers. They were master craftspeople in jade and gold, builders of complex settlements with paved plazas and monumental mounds. But their most enduring and most baffling legacy is written not in gold, but in granite. The stones are found primarily in the Diquís Delta, near sites like Palmer Sur, Batamble, Grijalba, and the Finca 6 archaeological zone. They vary from the size of a bowling ball to colossal giants over 2.5 meters in diameter, weighing as much as 2 adult elephants. The largest ever recorded, tragically dynamited by treasure hunters in the 1930s in the misguided belief it contained gold, was estimated to be over 16 tons. But it is not their size alone that astounds. It is their precision. Modern analysis reveals a sphericity that often deviates by less than a centimeter from a perfect ball. How did a people without the wheel, without draft animals, without iron tools, achieve such mathematical and geometric perfection? To understand the scale of the mystery, we must walk in the footsteps of the first archaeologists who confronted it. In the 1940s, a young archaeologist named Doris Stone, daughter of a United Fruit Company executive, began serious study. She documented their locations, their varied sizes. But it was the arrival of Samuel Lothrop of Harvard's Peabody Museum in 1948 that launched the first scientific investigation. Lothrop and his wife, Eleanor, faced a jungle that was actively reclaiming the sites. They battled heat, insects, and the logistical nightmare of moving and measuring multi-ton stones. Lothrop meticulously mapped clusters of spheres, noting their alignments. In his 1963 publication, Archaeology of the Diquís Delta, Costa Rica, he confessed his profound bewilderment. The tools available to the makers, hammerstones of equal or harder rock, possibly fire and water to fracture boulders, seemed woefully inadequate for the task. The process would have been one of unimaginable patience, pecking away at a raw granite boulder with another rock, grinding it smooth with sand and water, checking and rechecking the curvature over what could have been generations for a single sphere. Lothrop wrote of the almost unbelievable skill required, a skill that seemed to appear fully formed in the archaeological record. Yet, as Lothrop studied, a darker chapter was unfolding. The very discovery of the spheres was putting them in mortal danger. The myth that they contained hidden gold or treasures led to rampant looting and vandalism. Spheres were rolled from their original positions, broken open with picks and drills, or simply smashed. Many were dragged away by tractors to adorn the gardens of wealthy landowners, government buildings, and even golf courses, severing them forever from their archaeological context. This was a catastrophe. In archaeology, an artifact's precise location, its relationship to other objects and structures, is its voice. Uprooted, the spheres fell silent. Each sphere hauled away to a lawn in San Jose was not just a stolen relic. It was a page torn from a sacred text, its meaning lost. The urgency to protect and understand them grew, even as the physical evidence was being scattered. What were they for? The first theories were practical. Status symbols for powerful chiefs, perhaps. They could have been territorial markers, denoting control over land and resources. But these explanations felt incomplete. They didn't account for the staggering investment of labor, nor for the strange, deliberate arrangements in which they were found. Then, a more celestial theory emerged. Researchers like Dr. Ivar Zapp and Dr. George Erickson, studying Lothrop's old maps, proposed that the alignments of spheres pointed to specific astronomical phenomena. Clusters might line up with the rising or setting of the sun on solstices or equinoxes. Were the spheres a giant, stone astronomical observatory, a calendar carved from the Earth itself? But science demands proof, and the celestial theory soon met fierce resistance. The chief critic was archaeologist Dr. John Hoops of the University of Kansas, who has spent decades studying the spheres. Hoops points to a harsh truth. Nearly all the spheres have been moved from their original positions. Without their pristine, ancient placement, astronomical claims are speculative at best. Furthermore, Hoops and others argue that achieving such geometric precision does not require advanced mathematics, but rather advanced artistry and a tradition of skilled craft. This collision of ideas, between the romantic vision of ancient astronomers and the grounded view of master craftspeople, lies at the heart of the modern debate. The plot thickened with a discovery that was both a breakthrough and a new puzzle. In the early 1990s, archaeologist Dr. Francisco Corrales of Costa Rica's National Museum led excavations at the site of Batamble. Here, spheres were found in situ, still in their original positions on carefully constructed stone pavements and aligned with architectural features. They were not hidden in the jungle. They were placed prominently in plazas, along pathways, near dwellings of the elite. Then came a twist that connected the stones to a darker human impulse. In 2010, using ground-penetrating radar at Finca 6, researchers made a chilling discovery. Beneath several of the largest spheres were hidden post holes, the remnants of massive wooden pillars. The theory is electrifying. The spheres were not merely placed on the ground. They were mounted. They sat atop great totem-like posts, lifting them high into the air. Imagine the sight. Towering columns, crowned with these impossibly perfect, gleaming stone orbs, catching the first and last light of the day. As the sun sets over the Diquís Delta, casting long shadows across the stone pavements of Finca 6, the spheres glow with a warm, primordial light. They have survived conquest, disease, jungle, and dynamite. They outlived the civilization that birthed them. They do not yield their secrets easily, and perhaps that is their final lesson. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, please subscribe to our channel. We bring you fascinating documentaries on history, science, civilizations, mysteries, and the untold stories that shaped our world. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you never miss a new release. See you in the next one.